Welcome back to Mike's Monsters. Today we are looking at the NECA Toys Feral Predator from the movie Prey that came out in summer of 2022. About a year after the movie's been out, we are finally getting the Predator itself. First I'll do a quick unboxing and show you the packaging and what's inside. We'll take a more detailed look at every accessory further on in the video. Feral moves quite well right out of the box for me. I didn't have to do any heating up with water or a blow dryer or anything like that. The arms can go out to a T-pose. They have a double joint at the elbows. Wrists have swivels. The head and neck can look up and down, turn side to side. His head spins completely around. There's a bit of an ab crunch and a chest crunch. Not super intense. Can do the splits pretty well. Knees are double jointed. The ankles have a little bit of a swivel rocker. Instead of head replacements, there's just mouth replacements now with new mandibles. These are not the same as the original Predators. They obviously changed the design in the new movie, so they had to resculpt them. And they have an open mouth, medium kind of growling mouth, and a closed mouth. The mask really easily just pops on and off. I don't believe there's a magnet. I think it just kind of clicks in there, but I could be wrong. There's a magnet in his back that the backpack can easily just clip to. Overall, he's got a really good range of motion. Now let's take an overall closer look at the Feral Predator. I think the paint application is pretty dang good. He's a very brown and dark predator. He's kind of glossy, so he looks a little wet. I mean, he was kind of like that in the movie sometimes, but not all the time. So I could see a few people complaining about that. I really enjoy the mask. They did a fantastic job on it, inside and out. And like I said earlier, the mask just sits on really easily. It doesn't fall off or anything from what I've noticed. The mouthpieces are really fun too. I like that we get multiple expressions with the Predator instead of just the default mouth open or close that they give you, or without having to swap heads. And it's quite easy swapping out the mouthpieces as well. They just have a little bit of a notch that you have to lock into, and it just slides right out. Regardless of what you think of the Predator's face or design in this movie, I really enjoy that they gave us all these different expressions with the Predator. It gives the figure a lot more range and things you can do with it. The combi stick comes in a few different forms. It comes separate with two pieces like he does in the movie and holds them in both hands, or you can combine them into one long piece. There's also a collapsed version as well. The collapsed version comes with two tiny little hooks that I can see getting really lost really fast and never being found again, that clamp to his belt loop on his back. It's kind of confusing. Those little hooks lock right into the back of the belt, and they sit pretty fine, but I could still see those getting lost. And actually, while recording this video, at the very end, they actually fell onto the floor and I didn't even notice. And I could have lost them easily if I didn't look down and see them just sitting there. So I'm not entirely sure I agree with this design choice. I know like the Predator 2 City Hunter has a clip in his back, and I see that they did that for obvious design choices, but I just see people losing these, and I'm not entirely sure people will be happy with that. Now we have the two wrist blades. These are a slightly different design than they used to do, where they slid out, where they kind of always were visible. This is definitely a new way of doing that. They did it that way with the Fugitive Predator as well, but I don't know if it was a defect on mine or the way it's just sculpted in general. I had a hard time sticking one of the wrist blades into the slot. They just felt like it didn't go in all the way, and I thought it was going to pop out or something. It just, I mean, it looks like it's in, but it just doesn't feel like it's in, but it stays in, so I guess it's in. Does that make sense? But for me, maybe if there was a little bit more plastic to shove inside the hole, I would feel more comfortable that it was sticking in there. Up next are his shields that attach to his other gauntlet on his left wrist. This is the collapsed version. It just sits into a little slot there on the arm. And the same goes for the expanded version, which he uses to chop people's heads off or deflect the bullets like he did in the movie, which was incredible. Pops in and out, no problem, super easy. And here we have the spear gun. There's a hand that's specifically set to be holding a trigger. You can slide the spear gun in there. And then we have the magnetized backpack that has a slot in his back that easily just pops right onto his back. No problem, and it can pop off pretty easily, but it does stay in there nice and firm as well. I could be wrong, but I don't believe the spear gun has anywhere to sit on his back or connect to anything. It just, you have to find a way to maybe sit it in his hair. I haven't been successful to have it look like it's sitting on his backpack or anything, but I could be wrong. Maybe there's a way to do it. I was wrong. After messing with it for a little bit longer, I found that there is a tiny magnet inside of the spear gun. Messing around with it, you have to get it just right and it'll sit there, so I didn't realize that at first, and now it's there. It's not a very super strong magnet, so it kind of took me a little bit to get it right to stay there. Sometimes it doesn't sit high enough, so it's there. It could be a little stronger though, I think. It comes with a wide range of hands to give him many different poses or gestures and ways to hold weapons. We'll do a quick size comparison with some relevant figures. The Elder Predator from Predator 2 by NECA and an Alien Warrior from Aliens by NECA as well. You can see that the Feral Predator actually kind of towers over the Elder Predator, and that's because of the way they designed the suit. The actor's head sat in the neck and the Predator's head sat on top of his head. So he will be a little taller, and you can see he has a little bit of a hunch too. He's about as tall as a xenomorph, which he would be really cool to see fight a xenomorph. I don't know about you guys, I'd love to see that. Maybe we'll take some pictures of that now that I think about it. And now standing next to some human-sized characters, we have Ripley from Alien, 40th Anniversary set version from NECA, and the Last Ronin, who I guess is not a human, but he is a good size to see how small he is. We have Sam from Trick or Treat, very tiny. And Michael Myers, who towers over some figures, and he's still small compared to the Feral here. Overall, this figure is pretty damn good. I'm very happy with this guy. He's not 100% accurate to the movie. His dreadlocks are not exactly the right length. I know this gets nitpicky. He also has an extra thumb on the other side of his fingers. Tiny little things you probably wouldn't notice unless you got real close up to the suit, which I have by this footage right here. So you get to see things that the photos or videos they get provided don't always capture, but they did a really, really good job. The face sculpt is pretty dang good. I could see it being a little bit more refined, but at the same time, I think I'm just gonna keep it masked because I love his masked look so much. He poses really, really well. He's been a lot of fun to take a couple photos of. I've recreated a few scenes from the movie and then did a few colorful portraits of him as well that I will share here with you. Again, he has a few design choices that I'm kind of curious about or nervous about. One being those hooks that hold his combi stick to his belt, and two, the way the wrist blades sit into his little wrist blade slots. I'm even nervous I might break those wrist blades, by the way. You have to insert them. I hope that doesn't happen. But overall, I'm very happy with this figure. I'm very happy we finally have him. I immediately got home from New York and the next morning went out to my collectibles shops in the area to find him because I'd heard he was starting to hit shelves. I've wanted this figure since the day I saw the movie with my buddy Ridgetop at San Diego Comic-Con in 2022. One of my favorite experiences ever. One of my favorite Predator designs. He is finally on my shelf, and I've been waiting for this day for over a year now, and I'm very happy. Again, he's not perfect. I can see a few fans complaining about a few things, but I am very happy with him for the price point. He comes in around $50 depending on where you shop. I know there's a Hot Toys version coming out. He might be even more accurate. We'll see, but I'm very happy with this. I'm going to take even more photos of him in the future. I can see NECA using this sculpt again and doing a battle damage version or something like that, because he gets his arm chopped off in the movie, he gets his mandible ripped off. They could definitely do another version of this, and even with some more accessories because we don't get every single weapon. I would also like to see a Naru and Sari 2-pack or something maybe, or whatever. I would just love to have more human characters in the Predator franchise made. She'd be a perfect addition to the line. There has been rumblings that NECA is kind of wrapping up their Predator figures. They might not be making more. I can't confirm that, but they haven't been releasing a lot, and they haven't announced anything after this figure comes out, so we'll just have to wait and see. If they do lose the license or let it go, who would you like to see make Predator figures from now on? NECA Toys did for a little while, but they no longer has the license. We've seen Mezco jumping in. There are many different companies out there that could pick this up, but who would you like to see? Do you want NECA to keep the license and keep making more and more Predator figures? Let me know in the comments below. For now though, thank you so much for watching Mike's Monsters. If you're interested in seeing more Prey things from me, I have a bunch of Prey videos featuring the suit, the premiere of the movie, the after party for the premiere of the movie, cast and crew interviews. Got a lot to look at and they are all linked below. But again, thank you so much for watching Mike's Monsters. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this. Give it a like as well, that always helps. Follow me on social media, and I appreciate all of the support. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.